So there's a new problem that is making LLMs really dangerous, and in today's video, we'll be talking about it. So there's a new argument spreading through the AI world, and it's much bigger than a few viral tweets. The argument is pretty simple. Large language models are becoming powerful enough to act, but not reliable enough to understand the consequences of those actions. And that's why this video is being made. It's not really about whether ChatGPT can write you a better email or whether Claude can summarize a PDF. It's about what happens when the same kind of AI is given tools, browser access, APIs, and private data, and the power to make those decisions. If we're looking at the tweets, they tell a very clear story. And I started to realize this when I was browsing X. Yann LeCun is being quoted as saying that you cannot build a reliable agentic system without a world model. Gary Marcus is also saying that he's been warning about this for years. And Fei-Fei Li, Google's former chief scientist, is saying that the industry is dangerously fixated on language models, whereas most of the economy is physical, perceptual, and spatial. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that these people aren't random people. These are major figures in AI pointing out the same weakness from different angles. Now, the reason this story is blowing up and people are saying that LLMs are now dangerous is because the criticism is no longer that LLMs hallucinate. Everyone already knows this. The sharper criticism is that hallucination is going to become a much more serious problem when the model is not answering but acting. You see, a chatbot can say something wrong and the user can ignore it. An agent can do something wrong and the mistake can become real. It can send the wrong message, click the wrong button, delete the wrong file, approve the wrong action, or make the wrong decision inside of a workflow. I mean, you have this article where it says it took only 9 seconds for an AI coding agent gone rogue to delete a company's entire production database and its backups, according to its founder. And the culprit was an AI agent powered by Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6. And this is something that went really viral, but I think it highlights the entire problem. Agents still hallucinate and they aren't 100%. And that's why the phrase world model is now becoming more popular. A world model means that the system has an internal way of representing how the world changes. If it takes an action, it can predict the likely results before it acts. And in a physical environment, that means understanding movement, space, objects, cause and effect, and what happens next. And in a digital environment, it means understanding not just what command is possible, but what the command will actually do. And the video you're seeing now is Meta's VJAPA 2 paper saying that their system was built to develop models capable of understanding, predicting, and planning in the physical world by combining a large-scale video data with a small amount of robotic interaction data. Now, the reason I'm making a video on this is because I think people need to understand that I think we're moving past the age of chatbots. The second wave of AI is truly here, and we're moving towards agents. Agents don't just answer, they plan steps, use tools, call APIs, browse websites, write code, read files, and that means that the model is no longer just producing words, it's affecting systems outside of the chat window. And that's a completely different risk. You can't really undo an action if it hallucinates. And this is why coding is often used as the example where LLMs work best. Code has feedback, you can run it, you can test it, and then you can see the error. And if the model writes bad code, the computer can tell you something has broken. And that means LLMs are extremely useful in software because the environment provides a checking system. The problem is that the real world doesn't give you a clean error message before the damage happens. And this is why world models are going to matter even more. The world models matter is because it's not just about the LLM saying the right thing, it's about knowing what will exactly happen if you do something. Humans and animals do this constantly. We avoid obstacles, judge distance, pick up objects, and we update our beliefs when the world pushes back. We don't need to turn everything into language first. And the argument from Yann LeCun is that LLMs are not built around this kind of understanding. They are built around predicting tokens, and a token can be a word, part of a word, or another piece of text. And that is why they can sound fluent. They have learned patterns in language, but the fluency is not the same as grounded understanding. Take a listen to what he says here.
I do not understand how you can even think of building an agentic system without an agentic system having the ability of predicting the consequences of its actions. Okay, and VLA doesn't do that.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
LLMs do not have role models. They cannot predict the consequences of their actions beforehand. They just take the action, and then après moi le déluge, as as some famous French kings said. So if you really want to build reliable agentic systems, they absolutely have to be able to predict the consequences of their actions so that they can plan a sequence of actions to do something, first of all, to fulfill the task that they are being asked to fulfill, but also perhaps to guarantee some safety guardrails,
Sure.
right? And the inference process now becomes a search as opposed to just an autoregressive prediction.
Right.
So that's a world model. That's the whole idea of a world model.
And that's why I included the video of Meta's VGEPA 2, because this is one of the important directions that could show what a different direction might look like. Meta describes it as a self-supervised foundation world model trained on video. And the point of that system isn't just to generate language. The point is to actually understand the physical reality, anticipate outcomes, and plan efficient strategies. And that kind of points to a different kind of AI race. The current race has been dominated by bigger and bigger large language models, longer context windows, faster inference, better coding, better tool use, and more agents. But the next race may be about grounding. Can the system understand space? Can it choose the right observation? Can it predict the result of an action? Can it plan before it acts? Now, there's a new paper connected to Fei-Fei Li's research world that makes this more concrete. EasyBench, submitted on May the 18th, 2026, is a benchmark for embodied spatial intelligence. It tests agents that must act to gather observations, not just answer questions from a fixed image. And the paper says the benchmark spans 10 task categories and 29 subcategories, and agents must decide whether to use perception, locomotion, or manipulation to gather the evidence they need. The most important phrase in this paper is essentially action blindness. The authors say most failures do not come from weak perception alone, they come from poor action choices. And in simple terms, this just means that the model does not know what it needs to look at or do in order to get the right evidence. And that leads to bad observations, and bad observations lead to wrong answers. And that's the same concern in a more measurable form. If the model is passive, it can look impressive. But if the model actually has to act and discover what is true, the weakness becomes clearer. And this is why spatial intelligence is becoming one of the new battlegrounds in AI. Now, the reason that I think in today's world, the reason that this is currently dangerous is because the AI industry is not a slow-moving industry. The industry is not waiting for perfect world models before shipping agents. AI systems are already being built to operate browsers, run research workflows, use tools, write production code, connect with company software, and take multi-step actions. Some of this is extremely useful, but it also raises the bar for reliability. An LLM can be very good and still be dangerous in the wrong setting. If it is 95% correct in the casual writing task, that's probably pretty good. But 95% correct while operating a high-stakes workflow, that remaining 5% is probably unacceptable. The problem is not average performance, the problem is what happens when the model is confidently wrong. And recent research on this agent evaluation is starting to focus on this issue. A May 2026 paper on detecting failures in agentic traces says that agent behavior can include specification violations that are not captured by outcome-only scoring. In other words, an AI agent may appear to complete a task, but while still taking steps that violate instructions or create hidden risk. That's a major point. If you only score the final answer, you're going to miss the dangerous process that produced it. And for agents, the path matters. Did it access the right file? Did it follow the right policy? Did it leak information? Did it call the right tool? Those aren't small details. Those are the difference between a useful assistant and an unsafe operator. Now, of course, there are counter arguments that LLMs are already doing useful agentic work. They can write code, they can use browsers, they can research, they can chain tools together, and they can correct those mistakes. And they can handle tasks that looked impossible a few years ago. So it would be wrong to say that LLMs can't do anything agentic. Now, the better point is more precise. LLMs can be strong in environments where actions are mostly digital, reversible, or verifiable. Code can be tested, a draft can be reviewed, a search result can be checked, a spreadsheet formula can be inspected. And these are places where the model can be powerful because there's a way to verify they got the correct output. The risk grows when the model is given more autonomy in environments where the verification is slower, harder, or too late. This includes physical robots, medical workflows, finance workflows, legal workflows, enterprise systems, anything involving permission, money, safety, private data, or real-world movements. And that's why the debate should be framed as not LLMs are good versus LLMs are bad. The real question is where they're being used, how much authority they're being given, and whether that system as a way to check the actions before they create consequences. And here's Yann LeCun in a recent podcast talking about the fact that LLMs, since they hallucinate, are actually intrinsically unsafe because hallucinations are essentially just a part of LLMs.
I'm going to say something that's, again, might be controversial. And certainly some of my colleagues at Meta didn't like me saying this. But I think LLMs are intrinsically unsafe. I don't think they can be made reliable and safe. Okay. They cannot be made reliable because you can't stop them from hallucinating. And if they are agentic, you cannot guarantee they're not going to take an action that, they didn't predict the outcome of. And that,
I mean, does it surprise you they can do these 15-hour coding tests given the concerns around reliability?
Well, but coding is something where you can actually verify that, the code that you generate, satisfy your specification. But but not everything is coding. And there are examples of, coding agents like wiping up your hard drive, right? So like, or doing stupid things, right? That makes you lose a lot of money or data or whatever. So I think LLMs in their current forms are intrinsically unsafe because they cannot predict the consequences of their actions, and because the way the task that they accomplish is determined is subject to their training. You give them a prompt, and then they will accomplish a task that corresponds to that prompt only to the extent that their training has conditioned them to actually do the right task corresponding to this prompt. But there's no hardwired constraint that will force them to accomplish this task and then predict that the task will be accomplished properly.